most men are not being leaders. And if women are receivers, y'all set the temperature, we match the temperature. It starts with y'all. I don't care how many times y'all try to put it on us, make it about us not being submissive as to why this, that. You are the leader. God holds you at a higher standard and a higher position. So yes, you have to show up in your marriage differently. We back, y'all. It is time for another great show. Thank you if you're a first-time visitor. Thank you for tuning in. Let us introduce ourselves.
I'm your boy Remon.
And I'm his sexy wife. I'm Candace Tuck. And we are the Tucks. I just said our last name ahead of time.
Yeah, you did.
So you all are tuned in to the Couples Lounge radio show where we do this on Saturdays, 9 o'clock. You don't want to miss it because ain't nobody doing it like us.
Because they ain't us.
And so we're about to give you something to talk about. I hope you're ready for an amazing, amazing, amazing show.
Already.
So if you have not subscribed, but if you hear something on this show that you like, you subscribe, you hit the notification bell, and when you finish, you get off this, what is this? YouTube, and tell somebody about the Couples Lounge.
Already. Happy Black
History Month.
There you go.
And my baby just celebrated his birthday. He is a year older. This is my old man right here. This is my old man right here. So happy belated birthday. Y'all make sure y'all tell him happy birthday in the chat. Make sure you tell him happy birthday.
Actually, tell me happy birthday twice. I crossed over Kappa Alpha Psi on my birthday. I had to throw that in there.
Of course he did. So let's get into this conversation. On the first show of the year, you asked the question.
Okay.
I said, pin it. You said this got to be a show.
Yeah.
This got to be a show.
Yeah.
And we have asked all of we only done had 2 guests.
Right.
But we asked our guests this question. They was like, wow, that's a good question.
Yeah.
You'll see on the next show, we're going to ask the question again.
Say we got guests next week.
I think it's a very powerful question to ask because of how the direction of this year's show. This year's show is about being healthy in our relationships, being healed individually, and being holy, which is being holy and being with God, helping people discover God and live in their spirituality. So the question was.
Yes. Oh, you want me to say? The question was, is there a lack of leadership in men or are there more women not knowing how to follow or be submissive?
So what did you come up with?
I believe the issue are with the women.
Okay.
I believe the whole submission women have an issue with. Mm-hmm. Not knowing how, not wanting to, not showing their daughters how to, how modeling it for them, and just having a problem doing it, period. Because leadership can look different. Now, your wife and your woman is fine when you agreeing with her or you saying this and that. But the moment we go against what y'all want, that leadership goes out the window. What you ain't been doing, what you haven't been, wait. I am now, but because you don't agree or like the direction that we're going, now all of a sudden it's a problem. Now all of a sudden that's a problem. Now, whoa. What happened to being submissive? What happened to following our leadership? The moment we go against the grain, there's a problem. And you will let it be known, and the lack of submission in following your man, it goes out the window at that point.
So what I hear you saying
yes,
is that the issue, more the issue that are in relationships. Well, let me say marriage.
Okay.
In marriage is because the women don't know how to follow and be submissive. That
Yes.
is what
And
you,
then don't
what I hear
and
you
don't
saying.
yes, but don't misinterpret what I'm saying by that, and that's what I mean. I'm not saying every man in the marriage is leading properly.
Okay.
I'm not. We're not speaking, and we try not to speak in absolutes.
Right.
So that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying more men are leading
What?
than women knowing how to be submissive, because women speak out against it and will speak out how difficult it is.
Mm-hmm.
And two, I don't think women see it. Men see leadership. Wait, to act like
I'm gonna let you finish.
to act like men don't have models and don't see men lead. I totally disagree with that.
Okay.
But to act like, I just don't believe women know how to model, or showing and teaching their daughters how to be submissive wives. Not women, submissive wives.
Okay.
And how that looks like. Even when I disagree, because there's an old saying I've said before. Ron Coleman, this is a quote by Ronnie Coleman.
Okay.
He tied for the most Mr. Olympia. He said, everybody wants to be big and strong, but don't nobody want to lift no heavy ass weights. The point I'm making is, you want to be a wife,
Okay.
but when I go against, again, what you agree with, where's the submission then?
What we disagree with. Okay.
Yeah, when we disagree, where's the submission then? It's easy to be submissive and follow when you agreeing and liking what I'm doing. Let me tell, baby, this is what we need to do. And you totally disagree.
Okay. So you
It
ready?
goes out the window.
So you ready?
You would, and here's what, let me say, and finally, let me say this, and I'm going to shut up.
Okay.
Just because you disagree and make a case for your point,
Okay.
doesn't mean you're not being submissive. I want to make that, because I don't want anybody to misinterpret what I'm saying. Like, baby, we need to go, we're going to church on Wednesdays. Well, nah, baby, I got this going, and you're disagreeing with me.
Okay.
That doesn't mean you're
not being submissive.
because you don't agree and you're making your point of why we shouldn't do X, Y, Z. That's fine. But when it's time to pull the trigger on X, Y, Z, you're saying, no, we're not, I'm not. Now you're not being submissive. There's a difference. Because just because you disagree, that's fine. I want you to have I don't want a yes woman. Jump. Okay, ha. No, if you disagree and you think we're going in the wrong direction, say your piece, because I may process it later. And you know what, baby? I think you're right. But if you shut up and not make a case, it's just how you express your different opinion in the situation.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing.
That's Counselor Tuck talking. But go ahead.
I disagree.
Obviously.
With that. And as I was thinking about this, lack of leadership or lack of submission, what's the biggest issue in our marriages? I say this. We grow up knowing how to submit. You come in this world having to be submissive because you have people in authority over you from
There's a major difference.
From the day you come into this world.
That's a terrible example.
No, it ain't.
Here's why I say that real quick.
Okay.
Here's why I say that. It's a bad example because you have no choice in the matter. When you're a child, I gotta do what my mom and daddy tell me. Well, nowadays I wonder that with these kids.
Right.
But you have to. When you are grown, a woman, doing it is totally different than that little girl, that teenage girl who mama paying the bills.
The point is this, is that submission is a part of our adulthood. Y'all adulthood.
So why do women have a trouble with it?
Let me finish. Let me make my point.
If it's that easy.
And so we have been doing it with our parents. We've had to listen to what they say. most parents don't give you the option to talk it through, but
nowadays
I think
they
nowadays is more parents that are open to giving you your voice, allowing your voice to be heard. When you go to school, you have authority. People in positions, and because of their positions, they're over you, so you have to be submissive to the situations. In the government, in the world, submissiveness is present in even when we ain't gotta be we don't have to listen to police if we don't want to, but it's a choice that we make because we understand what the consequence will be.
Are you listening to the words that come out of your mouth right now?
Submission has been a part of our being, or having to submit.
So why women have a problem with it? Why do y'all struggle?
Ain't enough men leading. So let's talk about it.
Baby, women struggle with submission before they even say I do.
Women don't struggle with submission when it's with the right man, when the man is leading like God has called him to lead. When the man is following God, y'all want to jump to making decisions. That's the part y'all want to jump to. I said this.
You're missing the point. No, I'm gonna let you say it.
Y'all want to jump to I say we do this. Let's do this. As I was preparing for this show, and I'm looking at what it really takes to be a leader. What does it take to lead a family, a corporation, the world? Husbands are not leading like a husband should lead in the home, which makes it challenging for a woman.
No one said it should be easy. It will be easy.
To be submissive when her husband doesn't have a vision.
May I ask the question?
When her husband, in a few minutes. When her husband doesn't have a vision, when her husband isn't following God, when her husband isn't emotionally intelligent, when her husband doesn't have his family's best interest at heart, and he doesn't because of how he shows up. So before we get into whatever you're about to say, I want to ask the men this. How you think, how you move, how you talk, what you do when your family, nothing that your family see. Would you want your wife to be the person that you are? Would you want your kids to be the whole person that you are, not just your good stuff, but how you lead and how you live your life? If your family moved like you moved, could you say, job well done? If everybody start following you like you move individually. Ponder on that. Let's go. And I'm going to tell y'all what being a leader is in the household just shortly. As he make his points.
Okay. Now, let me ask you a question. Do the Bible tells wives or instruct wives to be submissive only if?
No.
So therefore, you're supposed to be submissive anyway, right?
Right. But
now, I'm not saying if I'm trying to get you to do something immoral or so that goes out the window. Yeah, that goes out. That goes without saying. The point I'm making is, ladies, if you're not being submissive or you're choosing not to be submissive because your husband not leading in a godly manner or doing something in a godly manner, you just as wrong as he is. No matter how you look at it, you just as wrong as he is. And actually, you're going against the very thing God told you to do. What are you talking about, Remon? This is what he said. You correct your husband with your reverence, not your tongue. So therefore, when you want to go against the grain and not be submissive, that's not how you get him to turn the page and to get in that godly fashion that God wants him to do. You're supposed to do it anyway because he will then see, wow, look at the woman I got.
Hopefully.
She's doing this because God told her to be.
Hopefully.
That's what God instructed you to do, because that could change, it should change him. That's what God said. But here's the excuse. Well, you ain't do, you should have been. Now you wanted to. Now you on. Whoa. So what? Yes, you may absolutely be correct, but you still wrong, because you're supposed to be submissive anyway. So when the bottom line is, and I'm finna shut up. So bottom line is, when your daughter sees you, is your daughter gonna be a submissive wife anyway, even though my husband may not be leading the way I want him to, but I'm gonna be submissive to God. Therefore, I'm gonna be submissive to you in spite of. Is she gonna be that type of woman? Or she gonna be the type of
Baby,
woman
hurry
that
up.
complain? Don't do that.
Hurry up.
Don't do
You
that.
hurry up.
No, okay, yeah, sure, go ahead. I'll be quiet. I just said some real stuff.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Okay, so he mentioned the word, right? And the word says submit to your husband like you would to God. And that submission to your husband is understanding your husband has a godly vision. God has a vision. He submit to your husband like you would submit to God. What is your husband's godly vision? I think there's such a hang up for men and women. So the submission is understanding that your husband has a vision of God, or should. And when that vision is of God, that's what makes it. Although even when we don't want to. So I guess I'm talking to the woman right now whose husband is in alignment with God, and you still face these challenges. And men,
Speak
if you
on
know,
what I said. What I just said.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with we still are to be submissive, but again,
But women are not. Do you think women are, in spite of?
I think
in
there are
general,
I think
of course.
more women are submissive
in spite
than a
of
husband being a leader. That's today's show. What's the imbalance?
Yes, so
in
that's
the
what.
home?
So okay, so
The
I'm gonna make sure I'm
imbalance
hearing you
in the
correct.
home
So let me make sure I'm
is
hearing you.
men are not leading.
So let me make sure I'm hearing you correct.
Okay.
You're saying there are more women still being submissive, even though they don't agree or like the way their husband are
Yes,
leading.
because y'all don't realize how much we really want to go rogue. Y'all really don't realize how much when we see y'all going this way, we really don't want to go. But you know what? Even if it's for the sake of peace in the house, even if for it
because you know what the consequences
more,
of you going rogue, you will cause him to go even more rogue.
See,
and that's a problem.
But again, let's go on and get to the first thing: being an emotionally intelligent man. Just because your woman do this, for you to be, oh, you want to do that, so I'm gonna do this. You're not emotionally
Correct.
intelligent enough to be able to see my wife is she having this type of emotion right now. She's upset right now. She doesn't want to do this. What men do that don't know how to be a leader is he matches her energy. He goes, oh, you want to go there? So I'm going to go here, okay, instead of talking to her heart, because he understands how he is to love her. So, baby, I see you upset. I see you don't want to go the way I'm talking about, but listen to me fully. Hear me out. So to be a leader, you have to be emotionally intelligent.
Absolutely.
So this is why I say, I'm going to hit all my points so you can understand why I'm saying most men are not being leaders. And if women are receivers, y'all set the temperature, we match the temperature. It starts with y'all. I don't care how many times y'all try to put it on us, make it about us not being submissive as to why this, that. You are the leader. God holds you at a higher standard and a higher position. So yes, you have to show up in your marriage differently. You can't show up in your marriage like you a little boy. So let me
let me just speak on what you said, because you're absolutely correct.
Okay.
But there's a flip side to everything. You're 100% correct.
Okay.
When you're not submissive, when you're doing this and that, we can't be Oh, you want to show up like that? Oh, you want to do that? Oh, okay, then you're right. A man, as a husband, we shouldn't do that. But what did I just say about 2 minutes ago when I was rudely interrupting, telling me to hurry up? Hold on, let me finish. What did I say? And hold on, because that goes directly to what you're saying. God told you to correct us with your reverence for a reason. He knew, hold on, he knew by you responding or acting in a certain way will cause an immediate reaction from this species right here. Baby, I need you to show up like this, because if you don't, you gonna cause this man to show up in a way that I don't want him to show up. You disagree? You telling me you disagree with that?
I do not necessarily disagree with that.
Okay.
As the
Because y'all
leader,
can make us
and
blow up
yeah,
a mountain.
You saying our reverence in our actions, absolutely. But God, it's not just our actions, our words. Our words should also change.
Yes.
When they are loving, because we are to give y'all wisdom. We are to.
So do you think more women are showing up loving when they feel their man is not leading in an appropriate manner? They're speaking in a loving way, coming in a loving way to get the response they should or want from their man?
Do you not understand what our show is about?
Okay,
the imbalance.
you're right, and I'm pointing out the imbalance in both.
So
in both, I'm not picking on women because I'm agreeing with you. I agree that is childish. That is wrong for a man. When I said I agree,
nothing about no man being a leader.
Right now, all you're doing is speaking on the man. And
I talk to submissive women too.
And I agree. And I spoke to the men, said she is right. That is wrong.
But you didn't give no. Let me give some.
You
context.
gave all the content.
I haven't gave all the content.
Okay,
but let me give it all to you.
My bad. I shouldn't agree with you when you spoke on the men.
Let me talk to you about what a leader looks like, and you tell me, do you feel like most men are operating like this in their household? He's emotionally intelligent and is done with love. He's an initiator. He makes the first move. He makes the first move in whatever situation. He leads by example. And this goes to the question I asked earlier. Could your wife and kids imitate you and you be proud? Would you not be worried? Would you know they will be good? Do you lead by example? Or are you mistreating your kids? Are you provoking your kids? Because in the word it says you're not supposed to provoke your kids to anger. You're not supposed to do that. Does your wife feel loved by you? 1 Corinthians 11:1 says, follow my example as I follow Christ. There are not enough men following God. So that alone will let you know that that's where the imbalance is in the home. There are not enough men really following God. Okay? We got a few more. And then you tell me what you think. You making sure we are all walking and working as a team. Husbands, are you making sure your family, you got a vision and you make sure your wife is working towards that vision, your kids are working towards that vision? As a whole, everybody in the house is working together for whatever your vision is. Are you leading spiritually? To be a great leader of a home, you have to be leading spiritually. Seeking God's word, because for one, you got to shout, you got to wash your wife with the word. How many husbands sit down with their wife, have devotional time, have prayer time, talk about what y'all did, the service at church? How are you leading her spiritually? Is that happening? Leading morally. All that I just said takes a part in place before we even get to, well, I said we doing this, or I'm finna make this decision, that. It's so important to do the other things. And if you have a good wife, when you are leading, she has no problem being submissive, even when she does not agree. even when she can see it this way, because she knows you have her best interest at heart, because how you have shown her that you love her. So based off what I just said, do you feel like most men in America are leading as such?
You notice how I didn't tell you to hurry up?
Do you believe?
You notice how I
I
didn't do that?
did notice that,
Okay.
baby. Do you believe
That was me leading in that way.
most men lead in that fashion?
No, I don't. I am not going to lie for men. I try to keep it 100 for both sides. No, I don't. I don't. I don't. Bottom line, I don't. And I don't feel like being submissive is easy when a man isn't doing that. I'm not so a part of me understands why women struggle with being submissive and not being submissive. I get it.
So when you
But
hear,
hold on,
okay,
I get it.
okay,
But you're supposed to anyway.
we get that. The question is, what's the imbalance
But
in the home?
I
What's the
think that
breakdown?
it's both. My opinion is both of us, men and women. Men are not showing up in the manner that you just adequately expressed. No, we're not. And we're not, well, of course, we're speaking in general. We're not absolute. There are men that are leading and doing all of that and then some, absolutely. And there are women that are being submissive and loving wives like they should, absolutely. But in general, no, most men are not showing up in that way.
So, okay, so if we brought it into a household, when it comes to a man leading and a woman being submissive,
yes.
Do you feel like most women do the submissive role? If we took 100 couples,
Okay, 100 couples,
and this woman had to be the women had to be submissive,
yes,
and the men are called to be leaders. Out of that 100 couples, do you feel like most of the men are leading and the women just are being submissive, or most of the women are being submissive and the husband is not being the leader? On a given time,
yes,
more submissive?
I'm saying the women are struggling with the submission more. And here's what I mean. Listen, let's say if you got only 20 men that leading the way, that out of 100, that means 80 ain't. Only 20 men, 20% of them are leading like they're supposed to. There are still going to be more women not being submissive. Here's why. Women are taught and showing up like men today. They're not being women in that manner, and they're teaching their daughters to show up this way. We're in general. So therefore, when she gets married and have a man that's leading, yes, some women are going to submit, but some women gonna fight it and buck the system anyway, because that's how women show up today. In general, that's the women we see. The alpha woman, what an alpha female. That's how women are showing up today, because that's what they see, that's what they hear, and that's what they're being shown at the crib. And I say they're showing up at the crib because there's probably not even a man at the crib. So they're being raised by a lot of single women who have to be dominant in every way because they're alone. So when you are a single woman raising kids and having to do it all, you're raising an independent daughter to do that. And now when she gets with a man, she struggle getting under his tutelage and under his leadership because she may not agree. Now, it's easy when I agree and I can follow you when I like that. But when I don't, then they still struggle with it.
If the man, let me go back to the point. And this is the thing too. I don't believe men are taught how to lead. Like when I started the show, I said I feel like women and not women, just people. We come into the world and we are already in a submissive role, just being born into the world. As I sit and think about this, I don't believe men in the Western culture, maybe Eastern, and I look forward to talking to our next guest. is they really being taught how to lead a household. That's not taught. Y'all, I think men are taught what to do, how to do being a man. You gonna watch the cars.
This is what you got to be careful with.
Let me finish. You gonna taught to do, but not taught really how to lead a family and what it takes to lead a family. And it's not a not a. This is just my perspective. My perspective is that women desire that it's a because of the order. God puts the desire for the woman to be submissive and follow and lead her husband.
And you see that today with women?
Is it a challenge? Yes, it can be. But if I stick to what the show is about what's the imbalance. And the imbalance is, for me, there's not enough men being leaders. We'll be right back.
Have you considered purchasing a home, but something has stopped you? Maybe you don't think you'll qualify due to credit, or you don't think you've saved enough, or maybe someone you trust said you should wait because the market is about to shift. The truth is, none of us know for sure what is going to happen in the real estate market at any given time. Interest rates have continued to decline and inventory is still limited. There are down payment assistance programs too. Help you qualify, and the value of houses continues to appreciate. Best time to purchase is when you qualify. Call me today to find out how I can assist you achieve your real estate goals.
So, again, if there were more men leading as God has called us to lead,
Exhibit A.
Guess what? The house will be in order.
Absolutely.
If the men will lead, so that woman that is not being submissive or want to go against her husband, if the man is leading like God has called him to lead, the house will get in order. And so the woman that you're talking about that's going rogue, or she don't want to listen, or she got this attitude, it is going to be so much more safety. Because that's what a woman wants to feel, safety. Even if she wasn't raised like that, even if she was taught like boom, 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 boom. If she's a godly woman and desires to live her marriage in a godly way.
How many married women are godly women?
More women are in church than men. So I'm going to say more women have a relationship with God.
Being in church don't make you a godly woman.
More women have a relationship with God, some sort of relationship with God, than men. That's proof by looking at the church. If we looked at that as an example, she may not be all the way, but she desires to have a relationship. She going to church. She trying to get it together. She realized she need to be in church because of what she feel inside. And there are not enough men leading. Y'all are the head for a reason. You have the position for a reason. But it's so many men operating from a boy mindset of, you do what I say, follow me, but you only want to lead when it's like this, but you don't want to lead when it has to do with emotional intelligence and being grounded and being solid, and not you matching your wife's feminine energy with your feminine energy. Y'all don't want to lead when it's time to become an initiator.
But you speak on
so many do you not feel like so many wives are based off I'm sure you talk to women, based off I'm going to say the complaints that she has to do everything. She feels like she's doing everything. She doesn't have his help. She got to make all the decisions. She got to come up with this, or she trying to make it happen for her family. Do you hear those type of things from women? Or what do you hear from women?
Oh, I can speak. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. In some cases, yeah, no question. But again, let me say this. Don't be the husband. Don't be this husband. Men,
B. Okay.
do not be this husband. Ladies, do not be this wife. So I'm speaking to both. Don't be the husband that knows a woman's job, her roles better than a woman do, but lacking in yours. Don't be that wife who knows everything a man is supposed to do, how he's supposed to do it, but you ain't showing up the way you supposed to as a wife. Don't be that. Because there are some men that could tell you could break down everything a woman should do, how to do it, better do it. I know it's some men out there like that. Fellas, you're wrong. Because if you that way, I bet if somebody asks your wife, how's he showing up? He ain't being the husband he's supposed to. He ain't showing up in that manner. Don't be that. I just had to throw that out there. I agree. Here's what we're disagreeing.
Okay.
You talking about I'm not speaking to the men. I'm not saying nothing to the men. I don't have to right now because that's all you're doing.
Okay.
I ain't pointing out the imbalance in the women because all you're speaking out is the imbalance of the men. Mm-hmm. That's how this is. I think this is working great. You might not like, but it's actually working great in my opinion because, baby, you really are just talking about men. That's all you're talking about. What we're not doing. That's all you're doing. And what you're saying and how we're not showing up and this and that is right. You're on point. Mm-hmm. You're on point with what you're saying. Okay, you really are. But there are men and women, and I'm speaking to the women, and you're seeming to have a problem with it.
No, it's not having a problem with
it. Huh?
The question of the show.
And I'm speaking on the imbalance. You're speaking on the imbalance on the men's side. I'm speaking on the imbalance on the woman's side. So I'm speaking to all the women who are not sure, baby.
So you are literally saying when you look at I should have took
I answered the question. I said women, I believe the women are like.
Let me ask you this. If a woman has a challenge with being submissive,
yes.
What is the husband's job? If he's the leader,
yes.
What is his job if his wife is struggling with being submissive?
To help her.
And how?
In every way he's supposed to. In the ways that you adequately communicated. Mm-hmm. In those ways too. Mm-hmm. So yes, but
so do you? Okay, go ahead and finish. Go back.
But it goes to what I was saying. When you plant that independent, don't need a man's seed in a little girl, that little girl grows up to be not a submissive. That little girl gonna grow up to be a woman who struggles like hell being submissive.
So let me ask you this. Based off the women that you know, just the women you know, do you feel like their parents, their mothers, planted a seed in them?
Yes.
That you don't need no man, based off the women you know.
Yes. Not only you don't need a man, but you do this and that anyway. Like you stash, you have your own money just in case, and all that. That's saying the same thing. Yes. By example, there's a lot of single women raising these women, young girls, and they're not teaching them how to be a submissive woman. Hell, they're not even in a relationship. There's not even a man in the house. So if there's not a man in the house, how is she raising her to be one? So and then are men coming and going? Okay. How is she raising her to be a submissive woman?
So these same single women.
Yes, ma'am.
Same situation.
Yes,
have
ma'am.
Boys.
Okay, they have boys.
So, what do you think them single women that you're saying that you know mostly?
Yeah, there's more. There's in the black culture, we're not. Most of us are not growing up in 2-parent household. That's a statistical fact. There are more African American kids growing up in a single parent household, and most of the time, it's the women that they're being raised by.
How are boys learning how to be a man? Then, if he don't have that father figure. He got this mother that same mother
over-loving,
teaching this. So how are our men
Yes.
our boys learning how to be a husband?
A lot of the times, a lot of them are learning on their own.
When
they get in it.
Exactly.
And women are too. That's just, wait,
No.
whoa.
No.
Hold on. Stop. Please stop talking right now for this quick second. The fact that you're saying no is a problem. I just stated how these people are growing up in single parent households.
All I said was
Single parent household, and these men or these little boys are being raised by women and they're having to learn how to be a man on their own. These and their sisters in the same boat, but you're saying no? Are you kidding me? It's the same thing. No. But these women ain't the. What in the world? Oh my God! Are you not listening to what you're saying right now?
The adjustment for a woman is not the.
That's my baby. You talk about my baby, I'll punch you in the face. I know she wrong right now, but that's my baby. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead, boo.
So again, I think both of us are learning when we get into marriage. I definitely agree with that. We're both learning how to be submissive.
You just said no when I brought up the woman.
Say women are not learning how to be submissive.
I said okay, go, baby.
What did
I just tell y'all?
What did I just say? Because I know for sure me and you be looking at the same thing and ain't looking at the same thing. So what did I just say that you saying that I said something?
Baby, didn't I just say the same thing about girls? I said they're having to learn on their own too. No,
I'm saying
that's what you literally said, baby.
I'm saying not to submissiveness because we have to be submissive. If
you don't stop with that,
it's ingrained in us. So if we get a good man,
when you're a teenager or adolescent, and as a grown woman, baby, it's not the same,
I don't
baby.
Care, you got practice.
It's not the same.
Practice. Yeah, the levels are different, but you still got practice.
That's Pee-wee football in Alabama.
But you got practice.
SEC Division I football. That's not the same. Same sport, but it ain't nowhere near the same.
So this is what I'm gonna say because I know this show is about to be coming to an end.
Oh, are you serious? No, we got. Oh God, talking. Why we got?
This.
You go. Yeah, okay, baby.
There are not enough men leading.
You know what? And I will agree. Because I speak to both.
You don't.
I do. I don't have to speak to the men. That's how you want to do. But she is right. There are not enough men leading in the way God called us to do. There's not. That is absolutely not. I am 150% agreeance with my sexy baby. They're not.
Don't say no but.
No, I'm like, no, don't do that. See, you gonna cause us to this. We finna go viral. We gonna tear up this whole place. Cause God dog it. Because I want to speak to both. It's not just men watching this show. It's not stop. I don't care. We are, and I just spoke on and saying there's not enough men leading. So I don't. Godly, never mind. Don't worry about it. I'm
what
through.
What do y'all need to do?
We'll see y'all next week. We got some special.
Stay in balance. Wow. Stay in the lobby.
Please just stop talking and let me speak. Please.
Go ahead.
Again, she is right. I'm going to say it one more time for somebody to hear me. There are not enough men leading the way God called us to lead. In every way my wife spoke, there are not enough of us doing it. So no matter what I say to women, fellas, like real talk, there's not. But there's two people in the marriage.
Okay.
Don't be wrong because she's wrong or he's wrong.
Agree.
So again, ladies, you are called to submit regardless. Yeah, we make your job difficult. We can make it difficult for you to do it. I agree. But you're still called to do it anyway. And your excuse, well, he ain't, or you only want to win, so therefore you're not. That don't fly with the man upstairs. He understand why it may be difficult, but you're not doing it. doesn't fly because you're wrong too. Ladies, don't be that woman who's not submitting because your man is not leading in the manner that he's supposed to. Don't be that woman. Be the woman that's submitting and being the godly woman that God called you to be in spite of. In spite of.
Tell me,
be that woman.
What in a man's mindset, what is
Yes.
being submissive? You being submissive to me. What in y'all mind? What y'all perceive that to be? A woman being submissive to y'all. What do y'all perceive that to be? What is that for y'all?
Are you serious right now?
Mm-hmm.
You following our leadership, or you're getting in alignment with us,
okay,
and following our leadership. You're being our helpmate, our backbone. And I think sometimes some men think submissiveness means shutting the hell up, don't have an opinion, can't disagree. I disagree with that. That doesn't mean a woman is not being submissive because she disagrees. I hope if you think I'm wrong, you tell me. I need people in my life who disagree. Tuck, you tripping, bro. Don't do that. Man, nah, bro, don't do that. Oh, okay, for real? Because I listen. So I don't need, yes, Lord, and I'm dead, so Lord, I'm so serious. Because I may be stupid at times and crazy at times. I know that's hard to believe, me being crazy. But
well, I'm listening.
So that's being submissive to me.
Following y'all lead.
Yes.
So,
and also, and last point, because this is true, in the submissive manner, unless I'm asking you to do something more, I'm going to drive us off a cliff and kill us, your husband has the final word.
Okay. So following y'all lead, having the final word. So this is going to be my question to y'all husbands. If submissiveness is following your lead, you think about how you leading. You think about how you live in your life. You think about how you show up with your wife, how you show up with your children. If being submissive is following your lead. I just got
one question for you.
This is my question. Do you really want your wife to be submissive and follow your lead? Not just your lead in what you want her to do, but how you live your life and how you show up. And I'm talking about, and I want y'all to think bigger picture, men, because I'm very adamant about 2024. I believe men, God, like at the end of last year, just kept putting things on me to speak to the men, because I know how women feel, and such that when y'all are leading, we want to follow. And when y'all leading like God wants y'all to lead, our houses are going to be amazing. Because as a woman, I do want to follow you. So husbands, based off of, and this is not a criticism, this is a let me think about what she is really saying right now. Because I'm not pointing the finger to, I'm bringing these things up for awareness purposes. Awareness, because I believe and see the greatness in men. I see how God is, when you read the word, how God is really, his real focus is on men. So you think about your leading and what the example is that you're showing your family. So if your wife did what you did and really be submissive in that way, do you want that? And so let me give some examples. I'm trying not to give examples. Let me give examples. What you got to say? Say what you want to say, Mr. Tuck. So I don't have to deal with this the whole time.
First of all, you're not dealing with that. I actually be quiet and let you talk. I don't interrupt.
Say what you would like to say, baby.
I'm communicating. I'm leading my example for communication.
Say what you would like to say, baby.
I'm actually leading my example.
So let me follow.
Okay. Question, and I'm serious question.
Okay.
What percentage of this show right here do you feel all you did was speak to the men and talk about what the men?
The most of it. I don't know what percentage.
Okay, let me ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't you not speaking to the women as well?
I'm speaking to the men
Seriously.
because y'all are the.
I get that, but you've done that, so you don't think that you don't want to cover both of us?
Because what I know,
or both of us,
because
both
what I do
men
know,
and women.
What I know is when y'all get in alignment with God, your house has to shift. When y'all are living like God desires y'all to live, she gonna shift.
Not always, baby.
If you got a good woman,
do you think every man is married to a good woman?
You picked her.
And some men have picked hoes. Some men have married a straight up, a hoe.
This is what will happen.
And they shouldn't have.
But this is what will happen.
Some women have married some bad men.
If you get in alignment with God, you praying for your wife. You praying over your wife. You praying with your wife. You're leading your wife. Most women will change unless it's something psychologically wrong.
No, I think some people just married the wrong person.
I don't even agree with that.
For real?
I don't believe most people married the wrong person. Do I believe that?
So why are so many ending up in divorces?
Because people don't want to shift, and people don't want to change, and people don't want to get in alignment with God.
Maybe you try to make something permanent that God made temporary for you.
I think that is a small set of people.
Oh wow!
I don't think it's. I think the majority.
I think
of people
too many people are jumping into
love,
it and not picking the right one. Men and women. That's just
me. I don't look at. I don't think the majority of people that are married today marry somebody they didn't love, they didn't want to be with.
You could love the wrong person. You can love someone that you weren't supposed to marry. I can love you,
but once you get in this covenant, I just believe if you operate how God called the covenant to operate, things can get into alignment. People will get into alignment.
Oh, of course it can.
You asked me why I talk to the men most of on this show, because leadership matters. Leadership is important.
Absolutely.
Leadership
is
what will if most men led like God has called them to lead.
Yes.
You just try it out, man. This is what I'm going to say. Just try it out.
Okay.
Get up under what God is really calling you to do.
Okay.
Have a vision that matches what God has told you to do.
I'm with my baby. See, she's speaking right now.
Lead by example. Be emotional. Heal. It's not enough men that most men won't go to counseling. Most men won't heal. Baby. Most men won't do what it takes to be the best version of themselves.
Okay.
And so when you are not showing up in your leadership role just because of the nature of the woman, because the woman wants her marriage to work, because the woman loves you, she tries to pick up where you are not showing up. Okay. And it does get us out of balance. It does put us in a place of being masculine, which puts us out of order. And then if we get in that pattern so long, women, what we end up doing is now taking on the role, and now we don't really respect him. So now we don't want to follow him because I'm doing all of this, and now you got a problem with it. And it just messes up everything. And so I'm going to talk to the women, and I'm going to tell you, and I've said this in the Power of a Wife talk, is that we got to be all right with letting whatever fall. I know you don't want it to fall, but so that you can keep the respect that you need to have for him, give him back that which God has called him to do. Give it back to him. Let it fail. Let the whole system fail if that's what it's got to do, because he the one held accountable for it anyway. And then you just really stand in who God called you to be. It's going to be challenging when you don't see him, but sometimes it just requires you to be quiet, pray about it, and allow God to handle him. And if he don't shift and you praying, two things are going to happen. He's either going to be drawn to you because of your prayer, or he going to get tired of you and he going to want to leave. And that's a reason that divorce is a hardened heart is a reason for a divorce. Infidelity is a reason for for you to get a divorce. So when you showing up like you supposed to show up and being submissive, doing what it is that God called you to do, you can feel all right with whatever ends up happening because you did. Not saying that if the marriage dissolves, it won't be hard, because it will be. But stand in what God has called you to do, and that is be submissive and give him back everything that he's supposed to be responsible for. But that's the end of the show.
Woo wee!
Or so that's the end of the show.
Woo! That was I don't that was a good show. And I think this is the good thing about our show, is that we do not see eye to eye on some things. Because if we just with the same mindset about everything, I think it would make for a boring show.
But this is what I know God is calling you to do.
Oh, there we go. Here we go.
This is.
I'm joking, man.
This is why somebody should have told me.
Okay.
You have told me you feel like your gift is leadership. And so I want you to sit with this, because you on this platform, God is calling you to not only lead us, but you have a group of men following you. And so you got to ask yourself, God, am I leading like you telling me to lead? And y'all men got to start talking to other men about leading and not being so focused on a wife, not being submissive, and talk to men about leading, because it is
men.
needed.
That's the conversation men have.
Y'all need to keep having it, because y'all not having it enough, because not enough men leading. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Couples Show.
But you didn't, jeez.
Y'all need to talk to him.
Oh my
y'all
God.
Y'all need to talk to him. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Like this
Babe,
is,
thank you for having some. Give me some
I don't even want to kiss you right now. I don't want to kiss you right now. Wow. Go on, sit down.